Welcome to Muddy Math. We have a unique opportunity to learn in the comfort of our own homes. So, as my favorite yoga online YouTuber says, get into something comfy and let's get started. She really inspires me, Yoga with Adrienne, so I'm channeling her to find the courage to do this. The goal is to check in with everyone for about 10 minutes, Monday through Thursday, and lead you on a journey to finding phi, the Greek symbol for the golden ratio. Sorry, I've never done a live stream before and I see a warning. Please check the video resolution. The current resolution is not optimal. So I hope you understand that this is a learning experience for me as well as you. We are learning different things. I hope to discover some golden ratio around my house, hopefully in places I wouldn't suspect, and I hope that's what you get out of this too. If you're in middle school, this is focused on 7th grade standards, but the cool thing is that we can scale it either towards 6th grade or up to 8th grade, and you can really get out of this what you want. Your parents, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, uncles, your dogs maybe even can join you in this discovery journey. So, what do you need? I will be making these accompanying PDFs for every single lesson, and we will keep the do, know, understand format for setting our goals. I'm just going to pause for a moment to make sure that this is actually streaming. So, hold on. I have 3 viewers. I don't know if, let's see. I don't know, since this is YouTube Kids, I don't know if chat is enabled. So we'll all be learning together. It's no big deal. We'll all learn together. Maybe if you go to my website. So my website is www.muddymath.com. I know I have comments enabled there. It's really important to me that my videos stay marked as good for children, so I know the comments are turned off for children YouTube. Not to say that middle schoolers are children, but I just want it to be known that these are safe videos for anyone to watch. But if you go to my website, you can leave me comments if things aren't working or things are working. It is day 0, so we can mark that down. Day 0. Oh, brown's not really working. Really, we're all just using today to get ready for the next 4 weeks, to get set up, to plan ahead, to brainstorm, and to come together as a community and celebrate this wonderful opportunity to learn in our homes and try new technologies and see what you're really capable of, because if you can get yourself to learn about the golden ratio, you can get yourself to learn about anything, and then your future is in the palm of your hand, in your control, and you have the power to be what you want to be in this world. So let me just show you how to get to my website and what I'm talking about, where to leave comments on what's working and what's not working. So let's see if this pops up. There we go. So here's my website, www.muddymath.com. And if you are at the home page, you'll see the day 0 28-day journey to discover the golden ratio. And if you click this post, or you can click here to leave a comment. And I think that's going to be the best way for us to communicate. I also will be checking in on this page each day to respond to students that have questions or parents that have questions about the content. So let's take a look at the accompanying PDF. The accompanying PDF is available on my website. You can access it with a device or by printing it, which is what I did today. So when you click on the post, you will see that I have this download this PDF enhancement to supplement your journey, and then in your download icon on your browser toolbar, you can open it in Adobe or just print it, either way. Okay, so what does that PDF look like? Well, let's take a look. So here's the PDF, and you're worth it. Number one, you showed up. How cool is that? You showed up to online learning when you're at home. That's pretty cool, and you should be proud of yourself for that, number one. It's a 28 journey to discover the golden ratio. This was inspired by Elisa Vite. She and I have yet to connect on Skype, but she is a nutrition expert and talks about the power of the 24-hour day and the 28-day cycle. So we're trying to incorporate this idea of a 28-day flow into learning math. So thanks to her for inspiring this. If you see at the top, we have our goals. What we want to do, we want to brainstorm and plan. Let me get my face back on here because I'm sure that you guys want to see my face. Or maybe you don't, but... and then I can shrink my face a little bit. There we go. Okay. Again, I'm new to all this sort of technology, so any feedback is super encouraged. I want positive feedback, I want critical feedback so I can improve for you. So, okay, and I have a printed copy of the PDF here. So we want to brainstorm and plan. That's so important. It's the third quarter moon, so this 28-day cycle is going to take us through a whole moon phase calendar, and when we're finished with this discovery journey, we'll be back at the third quarter, and you could really repeat this journey over and over again, looking for different connections and patterns and taking them to the level that you need. That's the beautiful thing about math. It just helps you see the world in a different way. It helps you communicate about the world in a different way, and there's never a limit to what you can discover and connect to and model and be inspired by. So we're letting our curiosity really drive this learning experience. So we're brainstorming and planning today, and I'm really going to try to keep these videos to about 10 minutes. So it looks like I have about 4 more minutes. I know attention spans in 2020 are limited. So if you think they should be longer, you think they should be shorter, leave a comment on day 0 on my www.muddymath.com post, and I will be sure to cater to your needs. As you can see, I'm very excited and passionate about this, so whatever you need is what I'm hoping to achieve. So to be successful in our brainstorm and planning, we want to ask ourselves, what time commitment am I willing to make each day for this journey? How about each week? Am I willing to put just in the video just to listen to Sam talk about muddy math and the golden ratio and phi? Or am I willing to put in some extra time and go out and actually do the tasks at hand? Am I willing to commit Friday through Sunday when Sam isn't uploading videos? Are you willing to do that? You know, you really just have to ask yourself in the understand questions, what time commitment am I willing to make to this journey each day and each week? Second, how will I measure consecutive lengths in nature? So, if you're in my 7th grade math class, we just did a circles lab relating diameter to circumference of a circle. So luckily I have my coffee cup here, and I can use this as a demo. So the diameter of a circle goes through the center and connects to each of the edges. It's not an edge of a circle, but it connects one point of a circle through the center to another point of a circle. If you notice, I had to just take a deep breath and recollect myself. So pi is another really cool relationship in nature for circles. The welcoming component of circles is that you can look and say, oh, that looks like a circle, or that's close to a circle. You know, in nature they're not perfect, but you can rest assured that that relationship between the diameter of a circle and the circumference of a circle will be the constant pi. It's an irrational number, just like phi. Okay, we use approximate values for pi in decimal or fraction form because an irrational number goes on forever and ever and ever without repeating, and if we were going to do one calculation by writing out all those infinite decimal values, then we would be here forever, we would never get anything done. So for human beings, since, you know, if I'm measuring something, it's going to have some human error, whether I'm using an iPhone device and the measuring tools on that or just like a tape measure, there's human error. And it's safe to say for our needs, going to the hundredths place is fine. So those of you that are familiar with pi, you know, it's the single value approximation for pi could be 22/7 as a fraction or 3.14, 3 and 1400ths as a decimal. And that relates the number of times the diameter wraps around the circle. Why am I talking about pi when this is all about phi? So the golden ratio is also a really cool ratio in nature that relates different lengths to themselves. And you see that this is called a golden rectangle, and it's because the length of the rectangle to the width of the rectangle has something called a phi relationship, a golden relationship. And that's what we're discovering. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you all about it, but that's what I want you to be curious about. If you know about circles, you have a little bit of a leg up because you're like, okay, so there's this like number that humans can't really pinpoint. Maybe they can with these really super huge computers, and it's all over nature. Circles are everywhere. What is this really curious number that connects diameter to circumference, and it even has a role in connecting the radius to the area of a circle? But there's another one, and it's called phi, and it's called golden, and it's been in human history, in art forms, architecture, engineering, nature, of course. So this is our goal, to discover phi, the golden ratio, around us in the safety of our own homes, with the curiosity of our hearts and our minds. And the third understand question that you want to get through today in your brainstorm and planning phase is how will you record your observations. So I love to write in a notebook. I have a spiral notebook, and I have lots of colorful pens in my pen case. So that's what I like to record my information on. If you printed the accompanying PDF, you can of course write on here. I know I'm at 10 minutes, but let's see how I'm doing. So in the accompanying PDF, let's just take another scroll through this, and if you have yours printed out, then you can follow along with me, okay? But you need to decide how you want to measure your lengths, or you can start counting things. So on the second part of the first page, it's saying, you know, you could count the petals on a flower, or you can measure the lengths of different branches on a tree, and you just want to record those measurements. So you want to record the counts. What flower did you count? What level of the petals did you count? How many were there? Or you want to describe the tree you found and decide, are you using a measuring tape, a ruler, your iPhone, and you're going to measure the consecutive lengths of branches. There's so many other consecutive. Consecutive means one after the other. So in the flower, the consecutive petals are each row of petals that are connected, that they're touching. Consecutive branches would be connected. So you can think about that word, consecutive. Okay, page 2 of your PDF enhancement gives you the definitions of the 6 no words we really want to focus on. So we have ratio, irrational numbers, rational numbers, numeric expressions, value, approximation. And we'll be cycling back to all these words so that you can really feel confident. But to explore on your own, you need a dense vocabulary that you feel confident using. So that's a part of our focus as well. I gave you space to take your own notes there. Okay? And then in your planning, okay, what interests you? So there's a typo, but I'm cranking this out kind of in real time. What interests you that has consecutive length? So I think I'm going to try to find some tree branches that I know are going to have the golden ratio, and then I'm going to go in my yard and maybe find some other nature components. There's not really a lot of flowers out yet, but I'm going to go look. So today my goal is to go look in my backyard and find some other things that I want to measure over the next 28 days. And in 28 days, things will grow. So that'll be another component that's really interesting because trees don't freeze in time, so hopefully they'll be growing as spring arises. How can your interest be measured? So if you're measuring flowers, are you counting? If you're measuring branches, are you using a ruler? How can you record your data? So you want a notebook or a piece of paper or an Excel spreadsheet or a Google Sheet to keep your measurements organized. And we'll get into modeling it on number lines and graphs and with equations and expressions and proportions. And then how can you stay motivated? How can you show up each day? I'm yelling. I'm excited. I'm going to calm down. How can you show up each day with some energy and some commitment to yourself? Because we live in a technological age. Most of you watching are considered digital natives. So this is the future. This is the now of learning. How can you show up? Because if you don't show up, then you lose out, right? The cool thing is that I can post these on my YouTube channel, and you don't have to tune in at 9:30 if you like to sleep till 11. But I really encourage you to carve out some time in your day, every day at the same time, to commit to this 28-day journey, because routine is something that our body craves. And if you routinely commit to this same time window every day for the next 28 days, I guarantee you're going to walk away learning something new about yourself, something about nature, and how to use math to communicate the things that you've discovered or the roadblocks that you found in the way and the mistakes you made to progress your mind and your bravery and your connection to yourself, your family, your community, and your world. I'm so pleased to be here with you all. Thank you for tuning in. Get your buddies on board. You can do this together. I'd be interested to see what different things that come up on the comments on muddymath.com. The final page of the PDF is a quick doodle, basically, an anchor chart, a doodle of what I think of already as the golden ratio. Take a look at that to get ready for tomorrow's lesson. See if you can practice using those 6 vocab words in your everyday conversations today. Value, approximation, rational number, irrational number, ratio, numeric expression. I'm so proud of you. Give yourself a hug. It seems silly, but it's so important. If you show self-love and you treat yourself well, then that's how you will mirror and treat others. It was a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow at 9:30.